you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas, Nevada, and you want to know the truth about what's happening here in this Las Vegas market. Well, in this video, we're going to jump into that specifically. What is truthfully going on in Las Vegas? So as we always say, guys, let the show begin because we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living here, buying properties, selling properties here in the Las Vegas, Nevada area, then make sure you subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about information and about sales and about buying properties here in the Las Vegas area. Now, today we're going to talk to you a little bit about what is truthfully going on in this market. It's a crazy time in the real estate market all over the country, and we're going to specifically zone in on Las Vegas. What is truthfully happening? We're stepping into March of this year, and we want to see what's been happening in this spring market so that we can get you that information so that when you are moving here and you want to purchase, you can reach out to us and you already know the information as far as what has been going on. With that, guys, let's step into this great video and let's say hello to the Allegiant Stadiums. Just win, baby, just win.
Okay, so we're going to jump onto our MLS, our multiple listing service here in the Las Vegas area. So in the Las Vegas Valley, we have what's basically called our Las Vegas Valley of Realtors. This is our MLS, multiple listing service, where any property that's out there, no matter which company or brokerage that you're with, you're going to put your property on this particular system, an MLS. This is our professional system that we use. It's not the realtor.com, it's not the Zillow.com or any of those different types of things. This is the most updated, most efficient information that's out there that we as professionals use. So with that being said, guys, I want to take us through and just look at the last 7 days here locally as far as what is happening in the Las Vegas area. So over the last 7 days, we basically have had new listings come onto the market, meaning new people have gone into contract, placed their homes on the market. We've had 857 new homes come onto the market over the last 7 days, 857. I like to look at these larger bands that sort of kind of pop up. Which ones are doing the most, if you will, activity in that sense? New listings seems like this is the big thing. You guys have heard it before. Here in the Las Vegas area, and it's here definitely in different parts of the United States. I'm not going to speculate and talk about what's happening on the larger scale in the sense of nationally. I really want to stay focused here locally in regards to what's happening here in Las Vegas. That's where I have boots on the ground. I have team members here. I have myself, so forth and so on. We know our stats. We study our stats, so forth and so on. We're the local experts in that sense. So we're going to stay here in the Las Vegas, Henderson area. So 857 new homes have come onto the market. That is absolutely incredible. Love that. In regards to those new listings that have come on, back on the market, we've had 194, meaning that they went off the market for whatever reason, and now they're back on the market. Price decreases. Price decreases meaning that sellers are seeing that they're out there and they're not able to get their property sold at the current price that they are. So they are bringing or adjusting that price, improving that price with their opportunities to be able to sell the property increases as well. So we've had 555 of those properties basically decrease, more than half of what's coming on. So 555 in the last 7 days. It's a huge number. That's a good number because we're starting to see people come more to the reality of what this current market is. Now, the big ones that really basically stand out to me are going to be this one here, which is like under contract no show, meaning that a buyer and a seller have basically come together, they've written an offer, they've accepted that offer, and they're no longer willing to show the property. They're just willing to go forward with that particular buyer, meaning not under contract. So they're moving forward with this one. 640 of them in the last 7 days. So that's a nice large amount of folks that even though we have that sort of kind of substitute or that those homes coming on that are refilling those spaces, we still have a lot of those folks that are actually going under contract, and that's great. And also because we've had so many people adjust prices, we're seeing more properties go under contract. Levels in regards to inventory, we are not strong. We'll be able to look at that a little bit later here. We'll look at our stats from last month and in regards to not just last month, but in 2020. What happened pre-pandemic? Because we know a lot of people always like to say, well, we're going to wait till we get back to those numbers of pre-pandemic. We're going to see if it's going to be realistic for us really to get back to those numbers. I don't think that's necessarily where we're heading at all. We'll talk about that a little bit more. In regards to that, again, 640 no show. They're under contract. They're ready to go. Now, 767 properties actually sold over the last 7 days. Sold, closed. They've moved on. They're all good to go. Moved from one owner to the new owner. They've sold, they recorded as a new person. 767. That's a really strong number in regards to how many people have actually come onto the market with these new listings. So with that, 857, 767 have basically sold. That means we're almost selling exactly what comes onto the market. So I think that's pretty good stuff. So with that being said, we just want to get an idea about that little micro area over the last 7 days, 857. What we're going to do now on the MLS, we have the option to be able to go where we can see additional stats. And on those additional stats, we can get monthly stats or monthly statistics in regards to what is happening. We are going to look at the March of this month, which is 2020, of this year rather, of 2023. The statistics of 2023, the biggest thing that we want to be able to do is, like we said, what is truthfully happening here in the Las Vegas area, March 2023. So if we were to go ahead and scroll up, this would give us an idea as far as what is happening. I'm going to move myself here out of the way a little bit. So out of the single family homes in regards to what's happening here in the Las Vegas market, we had basically sold 2,361 homes for the month of March. For that month, we sold 2,361 homes. And that was down 27.8%. In regards to what happened in that previous month, so forth and so on. So we'll see that 2367, not in the previous month of the year before, the year over year. So we'll be able to look at that correctly. So 2361, 44,196 units were available during that time frame. We sold more than half of them in that sense. Our median price, this number keeps ringing true to us. Like I said a little bit earlier in the video, we actually went up this month. We didn't go up a great number. We didn't drop a great number, but we've been staying around that 420, 425 number over the last 3-4 months. We've been consistent on that number. 420, 425. Because something happens for 1 month does not mean at all that is going to basically tell us what the market is doing. Yet when we start to have 3, 4, 5, 6 months worth of a particular kind of activity, we tend to give that much more merit in regards to what is happening in the market. So again, for the last 4 months, we've gone all around from 420 to 425. We've really been maintaining that number. So we went back up to our 425. I think we dropped down to maybe like 420 at one point, then we were down at 422. We got up to 424,999, and we've been able to maintain that, so forth and so on. Now we're up 425,000. Not a huge jump, but still we're heading in the right direction. We're basically maintaining. Some people may say that we're at the bottom of the market. That's a strong possibility, especially now that we have 4 months of activities sort of showing us that. I think we're sort of scraping that bottom. Do we have a hair more of a window possibly to adjust? Sure. This is a spring market. We were hoping for more activities as far as more properties coming on the market that would really get us up in that sense. Those properties did not come to fruition. We basically were down in regards to how many listings came on the market, but yet our transaction numbers actually went up. Interesting. Our transaction numbers went up, but our listings didn't necessarily grow higher. Now, we grew higher than what we had last year because everyone's like, oh my God, the inventory is doubling. It's going to be crazy. The market's going to go to crap. That's the reason it's going to crash because there's more properties coming onto the market. We've got to remember that 100% or so that we saw an increase of, we got to remember where we were before that 100% increase happened. Where were we? We were at an all-time low in regards to inventory. And so, of course, when something increases 100%, does it increase 100% because you were at 1, or does it increase 100% because you were at whatever, 255? Now, that's a big difference. 100% increase from 1 is 2. So it's not a huge, big increase that the media and the clickbait people out there like to push out there to you so that they can get your attention, so they can get you to subscribe. No, it isn't going to be that over the top emotional kind of this is what's happening in the market. We want to just look at the numbers. Let's keep this very unemotional in a good way so that you can make a great business decision for you and your family in regards to how you want to move forward. Let's look at truthfully what is happening. Did our inventory increase 109%? Yes, it did. But again, it increased 109% from an extremely historic low number. And then that's why we still are at like 4,196. But when we put everything together, we're probably like at 7,000. 7,000 and change, maybe 7,039, I think was the number that I saw earlier. But again, our median price 425, we're maintaining that. That's a great thing in that sense. And that's our single family homes. When we put everything together, that 4,196, that 1,103 as far as the condos, and then everything else in regards to being under contract, all of that kind of good stuff. That pushes us up to more. Oh, there we go. That pushes us up here closer to including offers, availability, where it says including offers down here. So my cursor is moving out of the blue and it's moving now into the white area. And that's telling us availability, including all offers. Like we said, number of units is at 7,039. That's what's all out there. So again, we're around 4,000 and change. 4,196 in regards to what was out there, single family homes, everything included, including offers, we're at 7,039. Back in 2008, I did another video about this a little earlier. 2008, we had close to 22-ish plus thousand homes, 22 plus thousand homes out there in the market. So we had a huge inventory thing. I can see why we fell because we had such an overbuild. We had so much, we still had a lot of demand, but we had even more inventory. And it's just that simple supply demand situation. When you have more inventory, you have a demand. If you don't have that demand and that demand starts falling off and you still have all of this inventory, it has no place else to go but down and collapse. We do not have the inventory out there right now. That's why, unfortunately, some of our first-time home buyers are probably facing some of the toughest times right now because they're out there competing against a lot of these corporations and different banks and so forth and so on. I know that we have the banks out there and some of the banks are falling apart, so forth, but there are not enough corporations that are being affected by that they're not turning around and putting it into the asset of real estate and buying up a lot of these lower end properties in the sense of our first time home buyers. So they're pushing a lot of those folks out. So we got to do better there. We'll figure that out. We'll figure out what that looks like. We did get one of our clients into a great property that was in like 350,000 or so, and that was in that lower area. So we felt great that we were able to help them. So we are able to help people below $1 million. We don't just sell luxury homes. We love selling luxury homes. We're not knocking that. We absolutely love it. But we also love helping our first-time home buyers and making sure that they get into this market, especially right now when there's less competition on the table. There's less competition out there. 87%, I believe it was like 87% of the homes right now, or 87% of people don't believe it's a great time to buy. What's the mindset when you hear that? 87% of the people out there don't believe it's a great time to buy. My mindset is, okay, well, that means it's only 13% of people out there actually activated and doing something in this current market. That means I'll have a lot less competition versus waiting around for the market to improve in the sense of interest rates, not just the market, but people are talking about interest rate. We've got to remember when our interest rates were historically low, and unfortunately our prices were high, people didn't want to buy. So our interest rates were low and our prices were high. Now we're in a spot where, again, our interest rates are higher. They doubled, but again, where do they double from? They doubled from that historic low, and our inventory is low, and people still don't want to buy. So we're on one end and we're on the other end where people just don't want to buy. I say this a gazillion times. And again, I always forget who I'm getting this quote from. But again, opportunities don't go away. Other people simply take advantage of them. So I think this is a great opportunity market. Let's talk. If it works for you and your family, or if it doesn't work for you and your family, great, we shake hands and we do something a little bit later. But let's make sure we're looking at these stats. We're looking at the true numbers and we're not looking at something emotionally. Now, if it does work for you and your family, then of course we'd love the opportunity to stand beside you, be a great advisor to you, and help you and your family move forward in the sense of selling your properties or in the sense of buying. So let's get back to these stats and again to the truth of what's really happening here in Las Vegas. This is the truth as far as what's happening here in Las Vegas. Again, number of units that we talked about before, 2,361. That median price is still at around 425,000. That is the middle of what is happening. That's what median means. That's the middle of what the market is doing. This 518,000 is the average price point of the sales that happen, meaning that of all the properties that have actually sold out there, what is that median level? It's 518,000. Now, again, our median in regards to the middle of the market is 425. What is actually sold out there in regards to the middle of that, if you will, or the average price, that's not the middle, the average price of that is going to be about 518,621. All right. So a little higher than our first time home buyer number. However, again, what we want to look at is, again, all of it combined is going to be 7,039. Again, not even, it's probably a third of what we had back in 2008. So remember that number for me, all right? Now, the biggest thing I want you guys to really think about is this. We get a lot of people saying where we just don't want to do anything right now. We want to wait till these interest rates do something. We want to get us back to those historic lows of, pre-pandemic, so forth and so on. We're going to pull up the March numbers of 2020, right before we went into the pandemic. So let's review really quickly before we go over to the March numbers. So of 2020, 2,361 is how many units that we actually had sold. 4,196 was what is available, and we had a median price of 425, a median. So if we're looking for this $425,000 to drop down to what March was back in 2020, that's what people are expecting and think is going to be happening in this market. Let's think about that. That's what they want to have happen. Now, May, June of last year, that's when we started to see a lot of our prices do this. Started to fall off the cliff. Our prices went down. Our median home here was 485,000. I think is the high that we got to in May, June of 2022. Now we are down. We've dropped down to 425. Now let's go and look at pre-pandemic March 2020. What were those numbers looking like? March 2020, here is the median price here in the Las Vegas area. So again, just so we show this, March 2020 from our Las Vegas realtor, as in regards to our stats, 319,000 is where we were before the pandemic started. 319,000 here. That's how much I actually bought my home for 6 years ago, for 319. My home now is worth 700 and something, 20 something thousand, or whatever it may be, 6 years ago. So I bought a median priced home 6 years ago. Now this was 2020, of course, when this property was when our median was at 319. 6 years ago versus 3 years ago. Now, 3 years ago, before the pandemic, 3 years ago is before the pandemic, 319 is what the median price was, the middle of our market. People are thinking we're going to drop back down to 319,000 as far as our median price compared to where we are now at 425,000. You guys, it would be absolutely crazy hysterical if it did. It's not going to happen. Remember, 2008, we had 22,000 plus homes on the market. Today's market, we have just over 7,000, including everything, meaning everything with an offer on it, everything under contract, and then everything available. All of those things put together is just over 7,000. We do not even have a third of what 2008 was. And again, in regards to what happened in 2000 or 2020, we are basically at 319. So you're expecting, some people are expecting us to go from 485,000, which was our high, down to 319,000. It's not going to happen. There's not enough inventory to drop in that sense, where people are basically going to drop down to that kind of a number. People have too much equity because right before that May, June, we were doing nothing but going up for 2 years. We were going up, we were going up, we were going up. People have cash in their home. People have the ability that if they do get into trouble, if you will, they can sell these properties and they still can have equity in these homes. Some of our clients are thinking about, if they do decide to sell, and they don't have to, and they're not in this need to kind of sell situation, they would more than likely sell the property. They would likely either sell the property, cash it out, have that funds to be able to go and buy another property cash, or they would hold on to that property and then rent that property out, because the great interest rate that they have on that property is going to be less as far as what their monthly mortgage is compared to what they could get for rents right now, because the rents are so high. So again, guys, I know it would be phenomenal for us to try and get back to these 319,000 on a median price home here in the Las Vegas area. That was our pre-pandemic numbers. We don't have enough inventory to have that kind of a drop or that drive down to get us from even now at 425,000 as far as our median is concerned with. So again, that's truthfully what is happening here in the Las Vegas area. And this was for March 2023, just last month. So we're in April now, but this was just last month. So again, make sure you connect with a real estate agent, a professional team member, someone that has boots on the ground. Or if you're looking for someone in your area, you're not here in the Las Vegas, Nevada area, reach out to us. We have great colleagues that have been doing this all across the nation in regards to the same time frame for 15, 16 plus years or more, just like we have been doing it here in the Las Vegas area. And we'd love to connect you with those folks that truthfully are the boots on the ground, and they are in the market. They're not looking at numbers and speculating from afar. They are in the market. They can tell you truthfully what's happening from week to week, so forth and so on. So with that, guys, I hope that has helped you out in regards to what is truthfully happening here in the Las Vegas area. And again, like we said, if this is not the time for you, no worries. We still would love the opportunity to present the truthful numbers to you, to present to you what's truthfully happening in your area, and see if it could work for you and your family. And again, like we said, if it doesn't work, we'd love to help you later on when it can. But if it does work, like we said, if it does work, please reach out. We'd love to make sure that we can help you get things done and get things done in the time frame that you want. So with that, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the video. Drop comments down below. Let us know your thoughts after you've seen these stats, after you've seen these numbers. Let us know what your thoughts in regards to where you think the market may be going. If we're at that bottom, if we're scraping the bottom, if you think we have more to go, all of that great stuff. And also let us know what you guys are looking to see here on our channel. We got some great input from some I can talk. We got great input from some other folks, and we're going to be putting out videos based upon those requests that they've asked in regards to certain areas within areas, all those different types of great things. The difference between Green Valley South, Green Valley North, Green Valley itself, all those different types of things. We're going to get those things answered for those people that took the time to make those comments. Comment below, guys, and we would love to be able to make sure we get those videos made for you, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.